Is a landmark in the history of social security in India. The objective of the Act is to introduce social insurance to provide employees the benefits related to sickness, maternity, employment injury, and other related. Its benefits are secured by financial contributions to the scheme by both employees and employer. The applicability of the Act is to the whole of India, to all factories, and is extended to shops, hotels, restaurants, cinemas including preview theatre, road motor transport undertakings, and newspaper establishments employing 20 or more persons. The Act can be extended to other establishments with 6 months' notice period. Once the Act is applied, it continues to be applied even if number of persons fall below limit or manufacturing process ceases to be on the aid of power. The beneficiaries of the Act are employees earning 21,000 rupees or below that. The Act does not apply to seasonal factories in the Navy, military or Air Force, mines and railway running sheds. The definition: I've taken only two: factory and wages. Factory means 10 or more persons employed in a manufacturing process with aid of power, or 20 or more persons employed in manufacturing process without the aid of power. Wages means all remunerations paid or payable in cash to an employee if the terms of the contract of employment expressed or implied were fulfilled. The exemptions: Government can exempt factories or factory from operation of this Act for not more than 1 year. If they need more than that, they have to renew it. Any persons or class of persons employed in any factory can be exempted, but the exemption cannot be made unless reasonable opportunity be given to the ESi corporation to make representations. If the employee is getting substantially similar or superior benefits than that is provided under this Act, then that employee can be exempted. Any employee is a class of employees from one or more provisions relating to the benefits in this Act can be exempted. There are three statutory bodies: ESi Corporation, Standing Committee, Medical Benefit Council. We'll be first discussing on ESi Corporation. So to administer ESi scheme, a statutory body, ESi Corporation, was set up by the central government. Here is the constitution of ESi Corporation. There's the members in it and the term of office of those members. Then we have the powers of ESi and duties of ESi. So the powers of ESi is employment of staff, promotion of measures of health of insured persons, rehabilitation and re-employment of disabled or injured persons, holding of property, appointment of inspectors, and determination of contribution. The duties of ESI are budget estimate, accounts, audit, annual report, valuation of assets and liabilities, and to place before Parliament annual report, auditor report, and budget, and to publish these. The Standing Committee is formed from among members of ESI Corporation. It is an executive body for administration and is under the general control of ESI Corporation. The term of office is for 2 years. If a member ceases to be a member of ESI, then he also ceases to be a member of Standing Committee but can continue till successor election. Medical Benefit Council is to advise ESI Corporation on medical side of operations. The term of office of its members is for 4 years. Director General and State Representative can stay till the pleasure of the government. Powers and duties of Medical Benefit Council is to advise ESI on medical side, to investigate into complaints against medical practitioners, and in regard to duties in connection with treatment. The central government can remove the Director General or Financial Commissioner any time if it is through the resolution of ESI Corporation or by vote support of not less than two-thirds. All these members and officers are considered as public servants. Under the ESI scheme, we have the ESI fund, which is for the payment of benefits to the insured persons to meet the costs of administration, provisions for other purposes. It can accept grants, donations, and gifts from anyone on the to the account of ESI fund on any bank or RBI. Purposes for which fund may be expended are payment of benefits and provisions for medical treatment of insured persons, payment of fees and allowance to members of ESI Corporation, payment of salaries, leave and joining allowance, etc. for officers and servants of ESI Corporation, Then establishment and maintenance of hospitals and other institutions, cost of auditing accounts, defraying cost of insurance court, any sums under contract, payment of sums of any degree or order or award of courts, any civil or criminal proceeding arising out of any action taken under this act, expenditure for improvement of health and welfare of insured persons or rehabilitation or re-employment of disabled or injured persons, and administrative expenses. All employees are to be insured. Contributions are as per the prescriptions of central government. It's payable on the last day of wage period. No one shall escape liability, pleading that there are no resources. The share of contribution is 0.75% for employees and 3.25% for employers. Totally 4%. This is the latest amendment. Before it was 1.75% and 4.75%, totally 6%. If anyone default, a simple interest of 12% per annum or till payment has to be made. Principal employer has to pay both for employees and employers' contribution initially. Then the employer can deduct the employee's contribution from his wages. It will be deemed as if the employee gave his contribution to the employer. The principal employer shall bear the expense of remittance of contribution. Like if he has to travel to the office, ESI corporation, and then give his contribution money, the expense of travel and all that will be borne by the principal employer. Recovery of contribution from immediate employer, both employees and employers. So there is a company owner and a contractor. So the company owner can immediately recover the contribution from the contractor for both employee and employer. Rupees 175 below earning employees need not contribute but entitles for all benefits under the Act. So those employees earning below rupees 175, they need not pay this 0.75 percentage contribution also. The employer will pay for both the contributions, the contribution period and the corresponding benefit period. Okay, so when the employee contributes, he'll be reaping the benefit of his contribution in the following period. Okay, so what is that, how is it, is what we're going to look at with an example from esic.com. So 1st April to 30th September is the first contribution period, for which we'll be reaping the benefits in the following years, January to June. And the second contribution period is October to March, for which we'll be reaping the benefits in the following years, July to December. Okay, this is how the calculation is done. If you don't understand, please read it again and try to understand. Benefits of ESI registration is as shown in the image. We'll go through it one by one. The sickness benefit. Insured employees will be given the payment for period of sickness at the standard benefit rate, which is the average daily wages of the employee in the corresponding contribution period. The lowest is 14 rupees and the highest is rupees 195. To avail the sickness benefit, the employee should have worked minimum of 78 days during the corresponding contribution period. The benefit can be availed only for maximum of 91 days in the two consecutive benefit period, which is 1 year. Sickness is to be certified by appointed medical practitioner or other with such qualifications. Benefit is not for the initial 2 days, which is considered as the waiting period. Maternity benefit. The central government sets the rates and periods. The insured woman is entitled to maternity benefit in case of confinement, miscarriage, sickness arising out of pregnancy, confinement, premature birth of child, or miscarriage. Under rule number 56, the women employee should have worked for a minimum of at least 70 days in the immediately preceding two consecutive contribution periods. The certificate of pregnancy, expected and actual date of confinement must be sent to the local office. The maternity benefit payment is twice the standard benefit rate. It is for 12 weeks and 6 shall precede the date of confinement. This has been amended as 26 weeks. If a woman dies leaving behind the child, the whole maternity benefit payment should be paid to the nominee or to the legal representative. If child also dies, it should be paid up to the day of the death of the child to the nominee or the legal representative. In case of miscarriage, sickness, confinement, premature birth, it should be qualified under rule number 56 and the proof should be produced. The insured person can avail the disablement benefit if he is disabled as a result of employment injury, presumed as the accident arising in the course of employment, accident happened while acting in breach of regulations, if the accident happened while traveling in employer's transport, if the accident happened while meeting an emergency at the premises, if it is an occupational disease mentioned in the third schedule. Can be of two types, temporary and permanent. Temporary is when the employee is temporarily incapable of work. He has to be paid as long as it lasts. Should be paid 90% of average daily wages. If it's less than 3 days, then it can be given a sickness benefit. If it's permanent, then the medical board has to assess the loss of earning capacity, and if it's occupational disease, then the special medical board has to assess the loss of earning capacity. For funeral expenses, the eldest surviving member or person who actually incur the expenditure should be paid the expenses within 3 months. Dependent benefit. If an insured person dies because of employment injury, the employee's dependents are entitled for compensation, that is periodical payments. It can be to the widow during her lifetime or until her remarriage, to legitimate or adopted son or daughter. If it's daughter, it's till her remarriage. If they have an infirmed child, then till the infirmity lasts. If no widow or child is left behind, it goes to the parents or grandparents. The rates are given. Medical benefit. An insured person or member of family of insured person who require treatment can avail this medical benefit. Medical benefits can be given in the form of outpatient or inpatient treatment, attendance in hospitals or dispensary, or by visits to the home of insured persons. The provision of medical treatment is wholly given by the state government. ESi Corporation and state government have come to agreement on these points: nature and scale of medical treatment, provision of buildings, equipment, medicines and staff, the sharing of the above, sharing of any amount spent in excess of all India average set for the state government. Establishment and maintenance of hospital by ESi Corporation with state approval for benefit of insured persons and family comes under this medical benefit. Under Rule number 60, medical benefits to insured persons who cease to be in employment because of permanent disablement. These people can also avail the medical benefit if they produce the proof and pay an advance for 1 year at the rate of rupees 10 per month as a whole. That is 120 rupees in advance for the year. If they pay and they produce the proof, they can also avail the medical benefits. Medical benefits to retired person under rule number 61 is similar. Insured person for not less than 5 years before superannuation, proof of superannuation and insurance of minimum 5 years, production of proof and lump sum payment of contribution for 1 year in advance at the rate of rupees 10 per month. So before he retired for 5 years, he should have been insured, and he should also do the payment of 120 rupees for 1 year in advance.